The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 734. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap-Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on the show today. She's an author, a journalist, and an entrepreneur, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Surabhi Verma. Surabhi, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Thank you so much, Sheena, and I'm so happy to be on your show. It is so important to have a platform through which women entrepreneurs and women leaders can listen to more such empowering stories and also connect with each other. So thank you so much for building such an incredible platform. Well, I'm a journalist, author, and have remained a live show host for more than 7 years now. And as a journalist, I have worked with some really renowned media houses, including the Times of India. And as a speaker, I have spoken on more than 1,000 stages. I have spent most part of my career in interviewing celebrities and bringing out stories related to entertainment world. And I have written thousands and thousands of articles which have almost crossed the readership of at least 1 million by now. So exactly 1 year ago, I released my book, And She Quit Her Job. And inside the book, I have shared the step-by-step process of building a successful career as a writer. So whether you are a blogger or a published writer, or you are just starting out, writing can take your game to an entirely next level. And this is what I have been teaching people from the last 1 year, which also happened to be a major reason why I turned into an entrepreneur. So right now, I am running my own business called The Inception Media, which deals into PR, publicity, and content. And I also coach young people and mostly students community in how they can build their careers into writing. So we started in March 2019, and we have been able to successfully work with CEOs who are running these billion-dollar empires and athletes and life coaches, world-renowned travelers. So yeah, that's a bit about what I do.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Surabhi, what's your cultural background?
So yeah, I hail from a very small town in the northern part of India, and being born in the early 90s, I have experienced things which were different from what they are now. So life back then was too simple and things were not that extravagant, and culture was more sober. The Western influence had just begun to creep inside our households. So while growing up, we were told not to be that outspoken, and therefore as a kid I remained a very shy person, though my schooling was really an experience for me, and that happened to shape me into this live wire and dynamo and a multi-passionate individual I am today. And I feel that this is really important to acknowledge. Whatsoever your culture tells you to follow, one needs to have a much broader perspective of what life can be outside that box. So 9 years ago, I shifted to New Delhi, which is the hub for students, artists, and entrepreneurs, and also the capital of India. And as I was staying and working in the capital of India, the world started to change around me. I have to say that women in Delhi are the most fearless girls on the planet. As they study, they go outside and work and do everything they have been holding inside for years. So when I completed my education and higher studies while remaining in Delhi, because of the very strong artistic vibe in the city, the narrative took a 360-degree turn for me.
Thanks for sharing that. And what'd be your favorite self-confidence quote?
So my favorite self-confidence quote is that I am unstoppable. And the reason why this is my feel-good self-confidence booster is the fact that whenever I feel low on energy, I think myself as someone who cannot be restricted by any means. Whether it is due to the overburden of my work or boredom or any sort of external factor, I have to keep going and moving with an unstoppable speed, because that's how life is, It throws challenges challenges at me every single day, but I have to be the spirit that remains at the top of the game in order to fulfill all my dreams. So I really have to keep going. And there is another quote which is actually my daily quote, and it is that I am really grateful to the universe. And I want to cite a very recent example here. My father was diagnosed with coronary artery disease in March 2019, and he went through very major heart operation. He has recovered very well now, but I imagine if any of your parent was battling with their life and you happen to be at the other side of it, realizing that it could be any moment they are gone. So that kind of fear is actually crippling, and it could have literally stopped me from living my life and doing the work I'm supposed to do. So to overcome that, I remind myself every single day of how grateful I am to the universe for blessing me with such a great family and giving me everything I have ever desired for. So, yeah, that's another quote that I really love, and these are my two favorite self confidence quotes.
Thanks for sharing that. And in your own words, how do you define self confidence?
I think self confidence cannot be developed overnight. It is basically a practice that sometimes may take years to grow. And the very question is how confident you are while doing a certain random task. One has to be clear of the motives they are pursuing, and if the very idea of how to reach to the end is clear, confidence would do the talk. So treat confidence like a friend, or maybe like an angel that was always there with you even if you decided not to look at it. It never left your side actually. So when you cannot find the way ahead and you struggle to get the lost confidence back, think about the moments of utter happiness, the situations when in some part of your life you must have remained at the top. So when people praised you for your work and for your achievements, what if the past is gone? Once the moments are created, they always remain with you as a guidance to the future. So that is my particular definition of self confidence.
Thanks for sharing that great definition. And Surabhi, what was your life like before your discovery of self confidence?
So before I discovered this self-confidence, I was a really, really shy girl. I was really shy speaking in front of an audience and maybe asking questions to someone. I have always remained this shy person, sitting at the back and just in my own world of creativity actually. So, but before discovering the self confidence, I was also very low on the fact that I will not be able to generate this much sum of money that I am supposed to do. And this is not just meant for me. Being financially successful is not meant for me. Being that leader is not meant for me. So I had all these sorts of different kinds of restrictions that I had created in my own mind. But when the pathway opened, when I discovered the self-confidence, everything started to shift. But still, it didn't happen in a night. It took me a long journey. It took me at least 6 to 7 years to continue, to keep going with it and discover the confidence bit by bit. So life was pretty tragic and pretty different before I discovered the self-confidence.
Thanks for sharing that. And as women, we always feel like we're so limited that we're not meant for anything. We're not worthy to go out there and go after the things that we want. And what was that point in your life when you realized you were more than enough to go out there and be who you are today? What was that aha moment?
Yeah, so though there have been many aha moments for me, but one major aha moment happened when I wrote this self-published book. I actually had no idea how I'm gonna be the author of my dreams and how I am gonna write the book. But when I did it, when I uploaded it on Amazon, when it finally launched, one really great thing happened. The book was picked up by Los Angeles Times, and I was so shocked and so surprised that people all over the globe are going to be reading about my story. They are going to be discovering who I am. They are going to be reading how I happen to be this person that I am today. Coming from a really small town and then shifting to a bigger town and pursuing the dreams, doing the studies, pursuing journalism, and doing all these different sorts of things and finally becoming the entrepreneur. So that was one aha moment when the Los Angeles Times, they picked my story and they wrote a huge article on me, a 1,000 word long article. So I was really, really happy that day, and I was actually feeling so proud of myself that, okay, I have finally done something that has been recognized by an international media.
Thanks for sharing that. And that's great, right? Sometimes when you just put something out there with no expectations, the universe somehow surprises you, right? And it just goes that, anything is possible, expect the unexpected, and it could be positive. Because I know sometimes we always think the worst of things, but you never know what can happen when you just take action and decide to write a book, start a video, start a project, whatever it is, like anything is possible. And because of that, what's your life been like now?
So now life is somewhat more hectic, I must say, because I have become this person who I always wanted to be, but I have actually restricted myself a lot before that. So after I did this book, after I wrote my book, I also did a lot of other things. I found that creative genius of mine, shouting from every inch of my body that, girl, you're gonna do this, girl, you're gonna create a YouTube channel also, girl, you're gonna become an entrepreneur, you're gonna have your own team, you're gonna be the guidance for a lot of people, you'll be doing the speaking. So I have been doing all these different things now, so the schedule is a bit on the hectic side, but yes, I am enjoying really, really every bit of it. And I couldn't be more thankful to the universe for what has come to my way and what I am able to create just by being positive and remaining positive.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And if a woman's listening to your episode and she is in her own journey of self-confidence, what would be that one tip you would give to her?
So I think the confidence can be developed every single day, right from the morning when you wake up, when you put your feet onto the carpet and when you just open your eyes. So the first thing that one needs to do in the very morning is to be grateful, to the things that are happening in your life, that are already there in your life, because we actually ignore so many small little things while we remain so busy in doing our own work that we forget to be grateful and to express that gratitude. So one needs to really have this feeling of gratitude in your heart, that thank you universe for making it possible for me, for letting me see another day, that today I'm gonna do a lot of hard work, I'm gonna work more on my dreams, on my career, on my ambitions. And after that, the confidence part, when we talk about the confidence part, when you are doing your day-to-day work, you just have to realize how important is the thing that you are doing. Your work is definitely gonna be recognized. People are definitely gonna look at what you are creating. Even if one single person is looking at your YouTube video, you have to create another video. You have to do that another podcast. You have to write that another article, because you never know in whose life you're gonna bring that change, you're gonna make the difference. So you need to keep doing the work that you are doing, and confidence will be walking with you hand in hand. And it will not happen in a night. I'm saying that again. It will take some time, but it will definitely find you. And once you find the confidence, no one is ever gonna stop you.
Thanks for sharing those great tips. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, or check out your book, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yes, so I am available on Instagram, and my social media handle, my Instagram handle is surabhiverma.official. My email ID is surabhiverma29@gmail.com. And my book is available on Amazon, both on Amazon and Amazon Kindle also, in different countries. So people can just type "and she quit her job" and they can definitely find my book.
Thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Surabhi, you can also head on over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com and search for Surabhi's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I just really want to thank Surabhi today for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, dear, and you're doing an amazing job. I really love the fact that you have created so many podcast episodes. It's really, really commendable what you are doing, and I'm really hoping that you continue on this journey and a lot of people find the inspiration in your podcast. So, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Aw, thank you. And thanks again for doing this. I really appreciate it. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to get your daily boost of confidence.